11-12-36 has been amended. Any other motion? Yes, Mr. Casadas. I see your hand.
The motion to amend section D to just incorporate dual immersion as number 4. As the special degree.
Okay, is there a second to this amendment? A second to the amendment to purge the GIS teacher. Now we'll have discussion on this. Mr. Casadas, would you like to speak to this before the public and the public can interact? Yes, sir.
Just in light of the comments we got regarding our last board meeting, just from the community members saying that they were appreciated that groups were sacred cows in a way, and they respected that at least dual immersion was one of those programs. They feel that it's a good program in our school. The reason why I'm trying to, as an individual, amending the dual enrollment for the teacher GIS program is that teachers who have been here longer deserve to stay here longer because they've put their, they've done their due diligence and time and dedication to this district. And I think it'd be unfair to have newer teachers come and be bumped older teachers who have stayed here longer. That's why I'm recommending this amendment.
If this amendment is passed, does this put this GIS program through the dual immersion with the community college in jeopardy of not proceeding?
It does put it at risk.
So
let me say something that addresses Mr. Casadas. We do have other teachers on that list that have less seniority because they're in a particular program. It's hard to place. Special ed is one of those programs. When you have hard to staff areas, especially like special ed, and in our dual enrollment program, where you have to be approved by the college and meet their qualifications for hiring and the training that's involved, it does require a certain amount of training skills and educational level before we can do that. So that would be a hard to staff area, similar to special ed. Another program is our music program that you see is being protected because it's difficult to staff those areas. I think people in the community do appreciate that students have an opportunity to save their family money in terms of room, board, taking college classes while they're still in high school. They can save up to $10,000 a year as we build that program. So we're looking at being able to offer this year, this next school year, 12-13, 2 college-level GIS classes, and that will require special certification, the training that's involved, and the partnership we have with ESRI. So I think the community is very appreciative of those classes and those programs because it does help the students in them.
Okay. My next question would be, when we had the failed attempt on Thursday to vote for this, why was that not on there and why is it on here now?
You know what, that's a good question, Mr. Casadas, and we did have a chance to look at the programs and make sure. And as we have been discussing, this came up last Thursday and we've been looking at it. Mr. Fisher and I have been talking about the programs. He just recently had his meeting with Mount San Jacinto and found out we were going to be able to offer those classes. So that was a new addition to our program offerings for next year. And we did not know that earlier this year. I mean, this month, I should say. Oh, I'm sorry, did I cough?
I don't get any sickness.
Excuse me.
We had a member of the audience.
Just to follow up and piggyback on what Dr. Kennedy said, requirements for the dual enrollment program is a master or a PhD in your subject area. So if you're teaching English, you have to have a master's or a PhD in English. Same thing with math. If those teachers were on that list that had those requirements, that program would disappear at that point because of the fact it's rather difficult to find somebody who has a master's or a PhD in mathematics, especially, that's also got a teaching credential that will fulfill our requirements for a certificated teacher and also the college's requirements to be a college-level professor, if you will.
Mr. Sanchez?
With all due respect, I've heard people say music's not listed. I heard math is not listed. The only one that's listed is GIS. And then about seniority, we had 2 other teachers last year, and if you want me to mention by name, I will. But those 2 other teachers were trained last year to take over the GIS or to implement the GIS. And this year, we had a total of 9 freshmen actively sign up for the GIS class. So it's for 9 students that actively signed up for 9th, and I checked it with the counselors this morning on the Zangle record to make sure the recommended classes was accurate before I made that statement of 9. That might also need to be in consideration. Not condemning the program at all. It's a wonderful opportunity. But if you only have 9 freshmen signing up for it.
Okay. Larry, Mr. Ellis.
So this individual has a master's in GIS.
He has a master's in his content area. Most teachers get a master's in education, but he has a master's in history. Is it English?
He's got a master's in history, and GIS falls, if I remember right, under history and geography.
So yes, he does.
Yes. Was that a
No,
stretch?
just an adjustment.
Okay, we have an amendment on the floor. You know, what concerns me too, and Mr. Casad, you brought it up, it wasn't there last time. If we already voted on this, it'd be a moot point, and we would, I don't know, would we have to come back? We couldn't have rescinded that. Or we could have, I guess, but, I mean, that wasn't done in the first place.
We had a special meeting for just in case.
Oh, yes, we did. I called for that. Yes, hi. Yes, ma'am.
I had a question back on the dual immersion teachers at the elementary level, not the GIS one.
Well, okay, we can come back to that.
Okay.
We will, because we haven't voted on the actual
Amendment.
amendment.
Okay.
You know, my first question, if this is purged, the program is not going to go away.
Oh, it might.
Why might it? Help me understand.
Well,
I mean, someone's going to bump this person because they have, do they meet the qualifications?
there's
of
no one on the
community?
bump list.
So, it's a moot point. I'm having difficulty understanding if no one has the community college credentials and to fill into this spot. I know we have a lot of money invested in it and all that other stuff, but, you know, for 9 kids?
Well, it wasn't 9 kids, so that's,
Okay,
there were 9 that signed up. There's actually, no, the class is full. And
Okay.
actually, the enrollment for next year is already looking at.
but back again, is there anyone from your list who meets the community college that can dual this, and can fulfill that need of the dual? If so,
On the layoff list. you're-
on the left, and I,
No, there's not.
there's not. So this is a moot point, in my opinion. I call for the question,
Wait a minute.
but
If he's not protected, he goes.
Right.
He's
He
gone.
goes.
Is that correct?
That's, yeah, that's.
if he's bumped,
No, actually, because
he's
of
laid off.
He's
the
on the list.
seniority, he's on the layoff list, that he's released.
He's the release. That's what I'm saying. There's nobody to bump into.
Well, we still have a Valdivia and a Miss Ferris who also went through the training at Mount San Jack last year.
my question, do they have masters, Mr.?
No, they don't. And the fact is that both of them taught it 1 year and walked away from it. I mean, they didn't want to do it.
So, okay, so what I'm hearing, we have, this, if we amend this GIS teacher will not be protected, and we would basically lose, we do not have anybody on this staff. He would be bumped out of it because of seniority, which is fair. So we're safe, we're gonna keep the program. We value this GIS program.
Right.
I don't want the program
And
to
the
go.
dual enrollment.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's, to me, I meant dual, I meant
Okay,
dual.
perfect.
Yeah, the point is the dual enrollment, actually.
That's what I meant, so I don't want to lose that. So, if that's the case, that clarifies my position.
Call for the
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, roll call for the question then.
You had,
Oh, no, this is on a separate issue. This is on the full resolution. We're not voting on that.
No, this is
no,
still part
she's
of
talking
D.
about D, which is what
Oh.
the motion you have on the
Oh,
floor.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to know, okay, you changed the wording on for the dual immersion
Oh,
teachers?
that dual, I thought you meant, I'm sorry, I stand
Because
corrected.
on Thursday, if I understood it, it was 5 years they had to teach 1 year within the program. So does this mean that teachers that are higher up in seniority that have the ability to teach this would be moved? And so seniority would be the overriding factor as long as they're qualified?
Yes, Bill.
If I-
Your legal counsel, Bill Dietrich.
If I might comment, if a person has the qualifications to be a dual immersion teacher, they could displace another dual immersion teacher under the competency criteria as written. We would no longer look to see recency of teaching experience.
We removed that.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did, thank you.